Over the past month, I have made well over $50,000 in profits trading just one strategy. And this isn't just some new strategy that suddenly started working. I've been trading this publicly for years now. Every single trade has either been live streamed or shared publicly before it happened. So there is years of proof behind everything that I'm about to show you, not only from myself, but many others. And even better, it's helped hundreds of traders hit their first 5-figure months. But recently, market conditions have been even more ridiculous for our strategy. In the past month, we've managed to keep over an 80% win rate, totaling over 20% in profit. And between myself and other students trading the same system, this has resulted in hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the entire strategy from start to finish, explaining exactly what I'm looking for before I enter a trade, and then I'll show you the trades that actually produce these results. But before I explain each individual rule, let me explain exactly what we're looking for in very simple terms. So every trade I take follows the exact same recognizable pattern. We have mechanical rules for drawing our zones, a written set of entry confirmations, and ultimately a very clear setup that we're waiting for every single day. But every single setup will look something like this. So we'll move up, forming a demand zone. Liquidity will then form in front of it, and then when price takes that level of liquidity and revisits our demand zone, we get a nice reaction, we enter our positions, and price flies. It is incredibly simple, but before I break that down in detail, let's quickly establish what and when we're trading. So I'd highly recommend you trade the strategy of futures. This just means that we don't have any spread to deal with when executing our trades. Plus, it gives us access to all the markets that perform best with our strategy. And currently, the four that I'd recommend are gold, NAS 100, S&P 500, and crude oil. Between these four pairs, we get plenty of opportunities in the market while still maintaining an incredible win rate as well as getting some really high risk to rewards. But as for the time frame that we're trading on, I'd highly recommend trading the 5-minute time frame. I pretty much exclusively trade on the 5-minute charts. There's not even any reason for you to have to go into higher time frames, even for trend analysis. This strategy is stupidly simple. You can literally stay on the 5-minute for all of your analysis, which of course I'll show you in a second. But finally, as for session, we're going to be most interested in either London session or New York session. And this is because they both bring some incredible volume for the markets. During Asia session, generally volume is a little bit lower, so it can be a bit more questionable for setups, but both of these work fantastically. So just pick whatever's best for you. Personally, I trade both, but now we know exactly what we're trading and when we're trading it, let's go build ourselves a setup. So since I just kind of mentioned it, we'll start off with trend analysis, and we're going to keep this extremely simple because that's all it has to be. We are basically just looking at price creating higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and lower lows. When price is consistently pushing up, breaking past previous highs, we are looking at a bullish trend and we are subsequently looking for buy positions. And vice versa, if price is consistently pushing below each low, creating lower lows each time, then we are going to be looking for sell positions. These of course are known as breaks of structure, and these are easily the most important factor towards determining any trend direction. So generally all it comes down to is if you see us breaking highs for a while, for example, we broke this high right here, we created a higher low right here because we did not break past this low, we then broke a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, we are looking for a buy position. Now we're on the 5-minute time frame, so do we care at all about what's going on all the way back here? No, we do not. If an investor is looking at trading the 5-minute time frame, they are not going to be subsequently trading the 4-hour time frame. So we are going to be looking at very recent trend. What is the most recent trend that has been created in this market? Well, we've been breaking highs and we've been failing at lows. So we've been creating a very bullish trend. If I take us off replay real quick here and we go a bit forward to this trade, which we also took within the past month, you can see how easily price can switch from bullish to bearish because we are just looking at the short-term trend. If you look at price here, we are clearly creating lower lows and lower highs. Even if you look at the smaller pieces of structure right here, what are we doing? We're failing at this high right here. We failed once again. We break past all these lows, creating a lower low. We then come up, fail at any highs over here, we break the low. We come up, we break the low. And when we do finally come up and break a high over here, we are very clearly reacting from one of our zones. And by the end of the video, I'm going to show you this exact setup once again, and you're going to know exactly why this was a valid setup to take. So in this market, the only time we're breaking major highs is to take liquidity and reach one of our zones to continue bearish. But we'll remove this zone for now because after that, we continued this bearish trend. We broke major lows to the left. And this is pretty much all we care about, just breaks of structure. And then once again, when we come up here, the only high that we break is the level of liquidity before reaching our zone. So now we know that when we have a position on our hands, we need to make sure that we are breaking structure consistently in our direction before looking to take that trade. But how do we even find supply and demand zones? Because we need a mechanical way to draw them up every single time, so we're not just drawing up the overall high of an area and just kind of guessing when price will tap it. So we do actually have a very mechanical way of doing this, which basically includes just marking up the final bearish candle before a large bullish move. Or vice versa, for a supply zone, we're looking for the final bullish candle before a large bearish move, and we just mark up the entire of that candle. Like I mentioned, this just makes it really consistent, so instead of just marking up the overall top or bottom of an area and just kind of using guesswork to assume that maybe price will move up into this zone at some point and then move down, we have a very specific area that we're allowing price to go into where it can either react or not react. And that's how we know if the zone is strong or weak. Now, it doesn't actually have to move up as strongly as we did on this one. For example, right here, you can see we moved off with straight black candles. So this is technically still a valid zone, but generally we do like it to push off as quickly as possible. But as long as we push off with straight black candles on a supply zone, then this is technically a valid zone. However, if we do something like this, where we actually mitigate the supply zone at any point, this now becomes invalid because we clearly didn't push off strong enough if there's a bullish candle touching the zone. So in a situation like this zone would be invalid, but we have actually technically created a new valid zone right here because we have just only gotten straight bearish candles moving outside the zone. Once again, this zone would be much nicer if we pushed off like this rather than the small reaction we just saw, because now we know that investors definitely missed out when originally trying to enter this area because price moved off so aggressively. And this is now a fantastic price for investors to enter back in at when price returns to this area. And that is all supply and demand is. Price moves off really strongly from a random area, you revisit this zone and you get a really strong reaction. But this is still missing something. Generally, trading normal supply and demand like this, price will quite likely react and look something like this. Maybe you take your buy position on here, but these zones are pretty limited to around a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So a lot of the time, price will just kind of hit that 1-to-1 and then just shoot back down because these zones aren't really moving the market. They just kind of provide for a really small retracement where price can maybe hit a 1-to-1 risk to reward and then call it a day. But by implementing a level of liquidity in front of our zones, this is now filling in every single requirement that the market needs to fully commit in going in this direction. Because liquidity is easily the biggest mode of market manipulation. And by not including that in your strategy, you're kind of leaving a lot of money on the table. And with supply and demand already being possibly the most well-known, well-traded strategies on earth, and liquidity being the most well-known, well-documented, strongest modes of market manipulation, by implementing them into the same strategy, we get the most ridiculous returns ever. And zones like these that previously went for a 1-to-1 risk to reward max can now easily go for 1-to-5s. In fact, out of the, I believe, 8 winning setups we had this month, I'm pretty sure 6 of them went for 1-to-20s or more, which really puts it into perspective how insane these zones really are. But what is liquidity? Because it's the one thing I haven't properly explained yet. It is absolutely integral that we have a level of liquidity in front of every one of our zones, or these will just simply not move the market in the way we want them to. And all liquidity really is where the money's at, and the money is at highs and lows. The reason for this is because people put their stop losses below lows because it is seen as the safest place to put it before price maybe then continues bearish. I mean, say you're a breakout trader and you enter right here, where is the most sensible place to put your stop loss? You wouldn't put it right here. You'd put it below the low, because once again, if price breaks past this low, then you're probably like, oh, it's going bearish. But most of the time, it's actually manipulating the market by taking their stop losses and reacting from a zone like ours. So literally every single low right here, every single high right here is actually a good level of liquidity that we could use in front of our zones. But of course, we don't just want to have liquidity as a tiny little swing in front of our massive demand zone, because this isn't really going to be having much effect when we reach this zone. So generally, we want to follow the pattern that I showed at the start. We want to come up, form a good level of liquidity, break the high, and then come down to our zone. And this level of liquidity needs to be at least 2 candles. So in this setup right here, you can see price formed a full high of liquidity. There is a massive gap between this candle right here and price action to the left, which kind of means that it's formed a visible high. However, if we go over to this setup over here that we showed at the start, this only has 3 candles as liquidity. We wouldn't be looking at this right here as a good level of liquidity because this didn't form a proper swing low. But these 3 candles coming down formed a visible swing low because we have this little gap in the middle. So people will be seeing this as a low of liquidity. This setup right here that we took earlier in the month also makes this exact same pattern. We shoot down, create a nice level of liquidity, break the low, and then come up. And in this case, we formed a nice visible level of liquidity with a big gap between that and the price action to the left. So on screen here, we have 3 different types of liquidity. This one is 1 candle. This is just invalid, okay? You can see this did not form a visible low that a lot of investors will really notice or be interested in comparison to something like 2 candle liquidity, where we do create that gap between the candles and the price action to the left. So this creates a visible low of liquidity. This one over here, you don't even have to worry about because it just visibly looks like a great swing of liquidity. So generally 2 candles or more is what we look for because 1 candle is very rarely going to create anything that looks like a really nice visible swing. Generally, the most liquidity will sit below the most obvious lows. So, I mean, this is technically nicer than this, but you don't really need to care too much as long as you have that good visible level of liquidity that swings a low in front of your zone. And you may have already caught on to this, but by now I've said multiple times that after we create this level of liquidity, we need to break a high. And this is the final rule before we want price to come towards our zone. So the entire pattern now becomes push up to create the demand zone, push down to create liquidity, and push up even further to create a break of structure. And this is the entire pattern. It's literally just like a staircase, just one stair. And after this, we just want price to come towards our zone. I can delete these 2 now and just bring this one over as a good example. So by the time price has now moved towards our zone, we are now pretty much just looking for an entry. And the absolute most important thing that we are first looking at is that price never closes inside the zone. We need to see a wick rejection exactly like this. As soon as price closes inside the zone like this, we are just invalid. Even if we then push up and, start rejecting really nicely, it does not matter because this is already an invalid zone. People have shown that they're not really interested in this zone because by this point, this is usually just acting as a small random retracement in the markets before it then continues down. We have not showed any meaningful rejection from this zone because we closed inside it. So we need to see a wick rejection from the zone. It can wick the zone and then close bearish. That is still fine. It is still a valid zone for the moment, but we cannot close inside the zone or break past it. As soon as we have broken past the zone like this is also now an invalid zone. And they are the only rules in terms of validating the reaction. But as long as we are following those rules, we are now pretty much valid to hopefully take an entry. Ideally, we do want to see, a large bullish candle. That is ideal, of course, because it means that a lot of people are buying at this zone. And our main entry model is actually entering on the first bullish close after rejecting the zone. Okay, this is what we do 90% of the time. Is extremely safe, and generally this kind of reaction will have a 80+% win rate. And that is pretty much the entire setup that we're looking for. There are a few more details that you may want to include to improve your win rate, or even a few more ways you can enter positions, including flip entries, which may get you a way earlier entry. But I have so much content on my channel. This is the only strategy I trade. It is the only strategy I have traded since becoming profitable. So there is so much content on my strategy if that does interest you. Or even better, if you are really trying to take trading seriously, then I'd highly recommend my VIP group below in the description. I send out every single trade I take before it happens. I even live stream some of them. We do weekly coaching calls. You can see all my backtest results. I review people's journals, and the results people see in here are simply just ridiculous. So if that does interest you, it will be in the description below. But let's go through some examples of trades that we've taken this month. Starting off with the ones that we've already kind of showcased. So in this setup, we have formed the exact same pattern that I've talked about with every setup in this video. So we come up with a large bullish move, forming a clear demand zone, which is the bearish candle before a large bullish move. We come down, forming 3 candles of liquidity. We break the high and we come down. In this setup, we do the exact same thing. We form a nice bearish drop, leaving behind a nice supply zone. We then come up, forming a nice level of liquidity, break the low to the left right here, and then we come up to the zone. We then enter on the first bearish close. We target our 1 to 3, 1 to 4, and we just let it run. And another setup right here, we drop with this large bearish move, form a nice level of liquidity, break the low, and come up to the zone. I took this setup yesterday with the group. You can see once again the exact same pattern. as always. And as you've probably noticed throughout all these trades, the stop loss placement goes below the candle that went deepest inside the zone. So in this case, despite us entering right here, which once again, there's a couple different entry models, which I've gone through in this video right here, we'll simply place our stop loss right below the candle that went deepest into the zone. In this case, you can actually see right here, we didn't tap the zone right here, so this technically wasn't valid to enter. So we were patient, we waited for price to properly tap the zone, which you can see it did and properly rejected. And then we took our entry, and once again, this ran for like a 1 to 30. And it's just this exact same pattern over and over again. And before I end the video, I'm just gonna leave the setup on screen and let you guys analyze this yourselves in the comments. Tell me exactly where you put your stop loss, where you put your TP, why it's valid, what kind of liquidity does it have, what you would grade this setup, and I'll get back to you, talk amongst yourselves. And yeah, the strategy has gotten even simpler since I last did this type of video on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Go test the strategy for yourself. Don't just take my word for it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.